On today's Relationship 911, we have a question from Maya, and she says that her boyfriend feels like she doesn't accept him for who he is. And she's just trying to help him and help him grow and get better. So what should they do about it?
Well, Maya, I think that when you want to lift your boyfriend up and you want to encourage him and acknowledge him, sometimes instead of just saying what's on your mind, you might consider asking a question. Hey, how was your day? How do you think about this? How do you feel about that outcome? What are you going to do about this situation or that scenario? We often jump right into wanting to give our advice and give solutions, and it's coming from such a beautiful place. I want to raise them up. I want to empower them. I want to give from my heart. But how it can be read is I'm already judging myself. I didn't do a good job. It didn't work out the way I thought. I didn't get the outcome that I wanted. And now you're validating my inner dialogue. So I feel like you're agreeing that I did something wrong based on how you're talking. And it's simply because of the state that the person may be in. But those questions gives a little bit of pause and break and allows people to consider, that's interesting. I maybe hadn't thought about it that way. Or it gets an opportunity for them to just get it off their chest. And then you become this beautiful sounding board and this loving space. And then once they've dumped everything that they don't want anymore, then they can actually hear maybe some feedback.
So I love what you said, and I think one of the most important parts of what you said is that when somebody's giving feedback, it's usually coming from a loving place, but the person may not hear it that way. Now, if you're giving a suggestion on how someone can do something better, that person often hears it like, I did it wrong, and you think I'm dumb and don't know how to do it myself.
I know that feeling. Giving it and receiving it.
And it's tricky because in relationships, all you want to do is like, I want to help you, I want to love you, and this is how I think you can do it better. But if you tell it to the person, then, and you don't necessarily ask them questions first or even see if they're open to that, they might only hear it like, you don't love me and appreciate me for who I am and how hard I'm trying, and you're just trying to fix it because you think I don't even know how to fix it myself.
That's right. And I can tell you times in Jan and my relationship where there were so many things I just wanted to share from a different vantage point. Like I just had a different perspective, but I didn't have the tools yet to say, hey, that's awesome, validate, 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 and I have a different perspective. Do you want to hear it? And then that gives him full choice. If he says yes, he's responsible for how he responds to what he hears from me, and it comes on his terms rather than on my terms. And I think that's a very respectful stance to take in relationship. Are you open to hearing what I have to say? Not, oh, I have some really good ideas, you should hear it.
Yeah. I think a lot about this in regards to my son. So I love my son so much. We have 2 daughters and a son, so he's like my mini me. And we do so many things together, and we golf together, and we eat sushi together, and we geek out about technology together. And I just love him. He's perfect, and I wish there were some things he would do differently. I wish he would clean up his room a little bit more. I wish he would study for school differently. There were things that I wish he would do differently. And I tell him, I say, what if, could you try this? And I offer him all of these suggestions on how he could do things differently based on my own experience. And I get a lot of times he hears, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it bad, you're not enough, I wish you were more, I wish you were different. And that is not my intention at all. So what I do is I'm really working on just loving him how he is and just really embracing that he knows best and that he's on his path and he's on his journey. And when he's open to it, I offer suggestions, I offer support, and I often do that by, like what Monika said, asking questions. If he comes back in from school and says, this happened, and he'll share with me, and I'll really listen to his whole story, and then afterwards I might say, hey, are you open to any thoughts? Do you want any feedback, or did you just want to tell that to me? And if he said, no, I'm open, that's when I offer something. And by the way, before I offer a suggestion, I acknowledge all the stuff that he did right first, and all the stuff that he did well. I won't say right. All the stuff that he did well first, and really just love him. Like Monika said, acknowledge, 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 and then hear some feedback. So my suggestion for you is have a lot of compassion for your boyfriend and really let him know how much you love him and adore him and how many things he's doing well, and then also suggest maybe if he might be open to something if it's the right moment.
Awesome. So if this resonates with you, if this is a topic that is important to you, please let us know by commenting below.
And for more Relationship 911 and help with your relationships, click the subscribe button.